It's my second video in the sunshine in the garden, so this needs a big bit of a refreshment. This is a pint can, 568 millilitres to be exact, of beer from Arbor Ales. And this, not only that, it's a double IPA, 8.2%. This is You Can't Drink Memories, but what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing a beer from Arbor Ales. This is in their big pint cans, 568 mils, and double IPA. It's a Kveik double IPA called You Can't Drink Memories. Now, I saw fellow YouTuber and beer reviewer Harry Meadows, you might see him, Blue Nose Beer Reviews, review this, and I thought, I've got to get that beer. That looks like a really cracking beer. So, contrary to popular belief, us YouTubers do like watching other YouTubers drink beer. You know, it seems weird, but we definitely like doing it. And this was reviewed recently, and he just said this was a good beer. So, I love Arbor Ales, I love the pint cans, but this has got lots of stuff going on. Obviously, it's Kveik yeast, but it's got Citra, Galaxy, Idaho 7, Motueka and Nelson Sauvin. 5 hops. This could be a little bit of a mess really in terms of all those hops, but are we going to get all that New Zealand goodness and all that tropicalness from those other hops really come through? Well, let's crack it open and find out. I haven't had a double IPA from Arbor before. No, I don't think I have. I'm sure I haven't. So obviously in a pint can, it actually says on the can sharing can, but who's going to share a big can? You're just going to sit back and enjoy this, aren't you? You know, you just drink it slowly. You'll be sensible. You know, that's the thing. You shouldn't be drinking it in the sunshine. Oh, well, I probably am. So anyway, beer in a glass. Look at that. Beautiful. Even I'll take my glasses off and I can see how bright and yellow that is. I hope you can see that. It doesn't look as bright in the screen here, but that is a bright yellow coloured beer. Two and a bit fingers of head. White, ice white, compacted. That looks absolutely lovely. Looks really good, and already, even though I'm in a big sort of garden area, I can still smell all that sort of tropical and real pungent aromas. But let's get in close. Oh yeah, it smells really good. It's got almost like a sort of sweet, well, it's definitely sweet, but it's almost like sweets. It's got this sort of flowery, sweet, juicy sort of aroma to it. Smells really good. It almost does smell like all of those hops are trying to sort of come to the forefront. The Citra and the Galaxy. There's the Motueka, that little bit of lime, and you can get a bit of gooseberry and you get a little bit of grape. Nelson Sauvin, but nothing is overpowering it. At the moment, it smells really well balanced, and it's getting those taste buds really going. So let's go for it. Cheers, everyone. Oh my word. Oh, so much flavour. I'm going to say it now. This is the best Arbor Ales beer that I've had. And I'm sure I said that in the last Arbor one. So it seems like they're getting better. And they were good before. Oh, going in again. For me, the big flavour up front is coming from the Galaxy and Idaho 7. Stone fruits, mangoes and peaches, apricots. There's a little whisper in there of the New Zealand stuff. There's lime comes in a little bit stronger than the other flavours in the New Zealand sort of side. So you get a bit of lime. Touches of gooseberry, honeydew melon, grape. But it's wrapped in this sort of real stone fruit flavour up front. It's really good. Soft mouthfeel. Creamy almost. Yeah, you're not really getting any of that 8.2%. Yeah, there's a lot of big juice flavours in there, which really sort of makes you think this is a double IPA, just because the flavour is so big and strong, but it's so smooth and creamy and dreamlike. It really is. And when I first tasted it, you think, yeah, I've had double IPAs that've got this sort of big hit up front, especially with Galaxy. It's a real sort of, I think, a very sort of pungent sort of hop that really gives loads of that sort of real tropical stone fruit flavours and can really overpower it. But then just when you think it's overpowering, you're getting these little, it just sort of creeps in a little bit of those sort of New Zealand flavours, the green flavoured fruits of melon and grape and gooseberry and lime especially. And that keeps that dankness a little bit in check. It's a very, very well-rounded out, balanced beer. For all those hops, you think there's so many times that it could go wrong, so many ways that it could go wrong, but it really does the job really, really well. It's a brilliant beer, Arbor Ales. Okay, this beer was just over a 5. I can't believe I've drank a lot of it, and then I've still got room in the can to put more in. It's a cracking beer. Check it out. If you see this one, give it a go. Don't be afraid. If you're not a double IPA drinker, because you think, well, why do I want to drink 8.2%? Especially in this sort of weather, you want to drink lighter beers. But this goes down really well, really smooth. You get no hint of that 8.2%. Loads of hops, loads of flavours. The Kveik yeast, you know, that sometimes gives a little bit of funkiness to it. I hadn't even thought about that. Is there a bit of funkiness? It does dial up some of those flavours a little bit more, I think, but it's still in check. All those different types of hops are still working really well together. I think it's a really cracking beer, and I'm going to say this is probably one of the best Arbor Ale beers that I've had, and they make good beers. I want to give them everything that they deserve, because they make their beers in pint cans. Their prices, I mean, this is a double that was, okay, I think it was just over a £5, but for a double in a pint can, that's still really cracking value. They make really good beers. They're consistently good, you know, and I don't almost say, like, before this review, or certainly some of the other reviews, the last one was a very good as well, but I'd always say that they make very good beers, consistently good beers. But now I'm seeing little hints of their greatness. This is certainly up there with some of their best beers that they've ever made. So this is really good. Let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Newtown Brewing Company and Arbor. I didn't even mention that. Newtown Brewing is the collaboration with Arbor. This is a pint can of their You Can't Drink Memories Kveik Double IPA, 8.2%. Cracking beer, this. Let's start with the scores at AROMA. Well, when I first held it up, even when I first opened the can, it's got this sort of real sweet, really sweet sort of aroma. I think it's the Kveik yeast that's really getting that aroma, because you smell it and you think, I haven't smelled anything quite like this before. Really sweet, almost like, I tell you what it's like those little refresher sweets, you know, you get them in a packet, lots of different flavours, that sort of chalky like stuff. It's very reminiscent of that. Lots of real sweet aromas. I couldn't say what sort of fruit, but it smells really inviting. I'm giving it 15 for aroma. Appearance wise, it's a lovely looking colour beer. The head's gone down a little bit, but I still think it looks pretty damn good. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Flavour wise, stone fruits up front, then you get all that New Zealand flavour goodness of, you know, lime and coriander, and he said lime and gooseberry and melon and kiwi fruit and grape as well. But the stone fruits there at the front, and just when you think it's going to go a little bit dank, then you get all that New Zealand sort of flavour, that little bit more earthiness, a little bit more sort of lighter flavour. It really goes down well. It's smooth and creamy, and it doesn't drink anywhere near 8.2%. I think it's really good. 35 for flavour. Value for money. Well, all Arbor score well for value. This was the most expensive Arbor. I think it was $5.20 or $5.30. But it's in a pint can. There's a lot of beer in here. Double IPA, 8.2%, 5 different hops, Kveik yeast. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And my overall experience, well, I'm not a massive double IPA fan. And this time of the year, you want to drink something light, refreshing. But this is just so smooth. So much flavour. and yet there's a little bit of, it's held back in terms of it doesn't go too dank, doesn't go too sweaty, too over ripened fruit. It's just about right, you know, just really hits the sweet spot really. It's got a level of sweetness to it, granted, but it doesn't, even though sometimes you think, yeah, it's a double IPA because it's soft, it's low in carbonation, and there's so much sort of flavour that just hangs around on your mouth really for a long time. And you just know it's a double IPA, but it doesn't drink like, there's no hop burn, there's no sort of alcohol burn either. It's just really smooth. So overall, 15. Tighten the scores up. It's probably not the highest Arbor, but it is one of the best. 83. It's a highly recommended. It's the Iron Maiden of beers. It's the heaviest of heavy metal. This is a really good beer. Arbor make good beers, but this goes into the sort of great level really. So definitely recommended. Give it a go. Pink can, 1 pint. Arbor, You Can't Drink Memories with Newtown Brewing. Definitely recommended. 5 hops, Kveik yeast. There's so much going on in this beer. Give it a go. And Harry, thanks for doing that review, because if you hadn't done that review, I wouldn't have bought this beer and I wouldn't have drank it and enjoyed it. So thanks again for that. And until the next one, you know what we're going to do. Keep on rocking.